I'm gonna be straight up with you. I'm gonna be 100% straight up with you. I'm not excited for a World War Hulk movie. I'm. There are a lot of things that the MCU does right. There are a lot of characters that the MCU definitely did right. Thor, Captain America, Iron Man, just to name the big three. But then there are characters that I feel as though Marvel dropped the ball on as the movies progress towards Endgame. And I definitely feel as though The Incredible Hulk is one of them. Let's think about all of the storylines that Marvel has dropped, like literally dropped with no explanation. They didn't go back and talk about them in any way, shape, or form in regards to the Hulk. The situation with Abomination from the original movie. Now, we get a throwaway line from Bruce Banner, Mark Ruffalo's Hulk, in regards to the original Hulk movie featuring Edward Norton. The last time I was in Harlem, I kind of broke Harlem. That was Marvel confirming that the events that happened in Edward Norton's movie were indeed canon for Hulk going forward in the MCU. All right, fine. Do we ever see Abomination show up again against the Hulk? No, he shows up in Shang-Chi. Um, he's just completely abandoned across the board. We never see the Abomination be referenced in any way, shape, or form in regards to Bruce Banner. His relationship with Betty Ross, it's never mentioned again, ever. If anything, Bruce acts like he's never met Betty Ross a day in his life and instantly falls in love with Natasha Romanoff like the second he sees her. Which is weird because what if actually went back and introduced the fact that Natasha ended up meeting the Hulk at essentially the exact same place he was in the original movie, which kind of muddies up the timeline a little bit as to when exactly the Avengers were supposed to get together. Because the assumption was the events that happened in the Hulk movie happened a couple years before Bruce ended up in South America, I believe. However, from Marvel's What If, it seems as though the events that happened in the Hulk movie happened maybe a week before all of the other events that happened in the MCU. It's insane. Then again, What If plays it really fast and loose in regards to the character. So, who knows? Then we go forward and we move on to Age of Ultron. Age of Ultron, Hulk has to deal with the fact that Wanda Maximoff essentially set him loose on like an entire city. We know that that's going to cause some level of mental anguish for Bruce Banner. It's never addressed. His character just ends up on Sakaar. How does he end up on Sakaar? Never addressed. His time on Sakaar as the Hulk, never addressed. Once again, a throwaway line. Me and the Hulk typically have one hand on the wheel, but this time it feels as though he was in charge. Okay, tell me more. They never get back to it. There is an amazing Infinity War scene, which was supposed to be with Hulk versus Cull Obsidian. Bruce Banner is in the Hulkbuster armor. He's fighting Cull Obsidian. While he's fighting Cull, he's having mental dialogue with the Hulk. And the Hulk more or less points out his point of view, which is that Bruce Banner only ever calls on him when he needs him to like beat somebody up. They never have a dialogue where they talk and get to know one another. And the Hulk's like, yeah, I'm not just like, I'm not your pit bull. You can't just throw me out there to beat up some guy, and then once I beat up the guy, you want to stuff me back into the closet because like my job is done. We never get that scene. We never get the agreement between the both of them where they eventually turn into Smart Hulk. Completely dropped. He beats Cull Obsidian in the why am I forgetting the name of it? In the Hulkbuster armor, and that's essentially it. The next time we see him, he's Smart Hulk. Once again, how did this come about? Well, me and Hulk, we had our differences and we decided to work it out. Once again, off screen. Everything for the Hulk, development wise, happens off screen. I really don't have faith that Marvel's going to be able to nail a World War Hulk movie. Because think about a World War Hulk movie. There are so many emotions going on in the World War Hulk comic series. The dominant emotion is rage. Across the board, it's the angriest the Hulk has ever been, which is what pushes him to this World War Hulk level. We're dealing with mental anguish over losing both your wife and your unborn children. We're dealing with a point where Bruce Banner and the Hulk are equally angry. They are both in sync on the exact same wavelength, which is furthering the Hulk's rage to just these ridiculous heights. What can happen on Earth that you've in some way, shape, or form introduced for the Hulk's character that's gonna push him to the point of being World War Hulk? Will he be World War Hulk where one footstep shakes the entire planetary crust of the entire planet and Tony Stark is like, he can't ever do that again? How? I don't know. Like, I'm not excited, in all honesty, for a World War Hulk movie. I don't understand why we're getting one now. I feel as though a World War Hulk movie should have been done before Thor Ragnarok, explaining how he got from Earth to Sakaar, how he became the champion of Sakaar. Like, a World War Hulk movie explaining that would be absolutely fantastic. But now, in what, phase 4, 5? Going forward in the MCU? We've already seen the perfect version of, in my opinion, the perfect version of the MCU Hulk in Thor Ragnarok. So, him and the Hulk agreed with one another, became Smart Hulk, then they separated, and Bruce Banner is now trying to shove the Hulk back into a closet, but then something's going to happen that's going to turn... I don't know. I don't know whether or not this is going to work. In my opinion, I feel as though it's far too late. World War Hulk should have been something that happened in phase 2. Maybe even phase 3. But now, going into the future of the MCU, an absolute waste. Like, I feel as though this is just Marvel going, finally we have the rights back to the Hulk. Let's do a World War Hulk movie. And I'm just like, no. Like, I would rather you do other things with the Hulk than do a World War Hulk movie. But maybe that's just me. If you agree that it's too late for a World War Hulk movie, comment down below. If you disagree and you're a hardcore Hulk fan and you're hoping that Marvel is going to turn it around and actually give you a dope-ass Hulk movie, comment down below. You know me, I like having discussions about this type of stuff, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.